What up, Hunter?
What's going on, brother?
Yeah, I really appreciate you for doing this, man.
Yeah, man, I'm happy to do it. I haven't actually done an interview, also. It's kind of good to knock the rust off and do something
Like,
every
you've
once in a
never
while.
done an interview before at all?
Yeah, I can't remember the last streamed one or live one I did now, honestly, because it's been a minute. But yeah, I've done several over the course of time, but it's just been a while since I have done one.
Dang, we already got 4 views. That's actually crazy. But anyway, you can't see the view count on your side. Uh,
No, mine's pretty, I guess, standard over here. It just kind of says the time and like the amount of time it's been live and stuff.
yeah, I have to watch that sometime because I'm like, I promised these artists a certain amount of time. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I try not to go over it.
yeah.
But once you get into the interview, it's like, dang, that much time done flew by.
Yeah, it flies by, and I get long winded sometimes and can talk, so I have to like really focus in interviews on like, okay, like answer the question, don't tell the like 10-minute version of every question, you know?
Oh, it don't on here. To me, it does not matter. You can take as long as you want to answer. Well, the first question I wanted to ask you is about your song. I think it went viral, Hoodie.
Yeah, it kind of ish did a little bit. Man, just the process behind that, it's like I'm sure a lot of people can relate to it, but think of how many times, you've been through a breakup or something, and it's like the breakup hurts, but then you start realizing like, where's that hat I wear? Where's my hoodie? Where's that t-shirt I like? It seems like
Yeah,
sometimes your ex ends up leaving with a little bit more than you realized, and that was kind of the thought process behind it, was like, how can we take a breakup, kind of make it a little bit funny in a way too, but still like hit home at the same time? And I feel like we did a good job of like walking that line.
man. I think, my opinion, I think the song should be longer.
Longer.
Like, I feel like it should be longer than 2 minutes.
Oh, really? I mean, hey, you never know. Sometimes you do remixes, extended versions, where you tell even more. Or, you could even do like a follow up song that's like this next song picks up where the last one left off. Some people do cool
Yeah,
stuff like that.
I think it's funny how you say, "Hey, officer, I'd like to report a robbery," but
Yeah,
it's a whole lot more than the hoodie she stole.
right. Yeah, and that was a song too that I liked so much for a lot of reasons. But to me, like when we write a song, it's not a necessity, but when you do a song that, like, I feel like while you're writing it in the room, you can like picture the music video in your mind of like
Yeah,
how it would go if you did a video. I feel like that's how you kind of know you're telling a good story and like painting a good picture, which obviously stuff like that, costs a
well,
lot of money. So it's hard to do a video for every song, but that would be one that I have so many like funny ideas and stuff for.
you think we'll get a video for it?
I don't know, man. It's hard. It's hard because sometimes, just to be realistic with people, like the amount of money, that it can or may not take sometimes to go through the whole process, of getting a song recorded, getting it mastered, promoting it, all those things. You could do a video, but here's kind of where my head's been at the level I'm at. I'm like, is it worth it more to me to put out a video and be able to put out 5 less songs, or whatever that number is, I'm at a point where I'm like, I just want to get as many of my songs out as I can, because that's what everybody wants. I feel
Yeah,
like people that support me, they're like, I want this song, I want that song, I want an album. The only way you can do that is you got to have the funds, to do it. So if I was doing a video for every song, man, I wouldn't be able to put out nearly as many. But I would like to one day for something, for sure.
yeah. Well, honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know much about your catalog. I the last few days when I knew I had this interview locked in, I'm like, I'm gonna go listen to some of his music. I'm like, I know he had a song with Leighton Warlick.
Right.
And I do want to. I'm gonna ask you about that song here in a minute.
Okay.
Uh, but like I didn't know that, and I listened to a couple of songs like "You Up," "Working Man's Prayer," I think.
Broken Man's Prayer. Yeah.
"Broken Man's Prayer." Yeah, like man. Well, let me ask you about the. How did the song with Leighton Warlick come about? Like, did he hit you up, or did you hit him up wanting to collab? Or
Yeah. So, like I said, I'll try to not give the 10-minute version because I know we want to talk about as much as we can. But the highlights of how that came about basically is Lathan and me went to high school together. And I had class with his wife actually when I was either freshman or sophomore. But we knew of each other, but we weren't like tight. We weren't boys or anything.
yeah,
We just kind of always knew of each other. Neither of us did music. And then as life changed and progressed for both of us, we later both found music, started doing the artist things, obviously separately. And then we had connected at some point. I don't remember if I had reached out first and was like, man, we should work on something sometime, or who initiated it. But I do know that at one point I did a part of a promo he did for a song he had with Tyler Hubbard called My
yeah,
Way. It's like the title track to his EP. And it was just like a little, hey man, could you say, like a little thing like if I had it my way, da da da, right? Like what if I had it my way, what would be your thing or whatever? So like we had reconnected and I shot him a video over for that and he was compiling all these different people doing videos for that. And then just we would try to keep up with each other here and there, encourage each other, hey man, seeing the music you're dropping, the shows you're playing, like keep it going, whatever. And then he actually, we had not talked in a decent amount of time, and just people get busy, and I just get a random
yeah.
text from him one day, and he was, it was well, at first it was just like, hope you've been good, you and the family and stuff, and then he's like, I got a song I want you to take a look at, and I'm like, all right. So I take a look at the song, he sent it over. I was like, man, I think you could crush this, and I was like, yeah, I think that's a hit for sure. So we just went back and forth, lined up a time to go get in the studio. I got in the studio, laid my vocal down, and then we got together and got to shoot some content. And we had not seen each other in forever. I got to go over to because we're from around the same place. The day we shot, we actually got to go over to his parents' house, and his mom cooked us a good old meal, and we got to hang out. And I got to meet his dad and everything. But we got to hang out, catch up, and Lathan's just a really good dude. I respect him a lot as an artist, but I respect him even more as a human, as a man. I mean, he's been a guy that even outside the music, sometimes, I can go to and talk to about personal life stuff and give advice. So definitely I'm in his corner rooting for him. And, I'm trying to put out as many songs as I can this year. He is too. We're both just trying to grind and support each other
Yeah.
from a distance. And, sometimes we end up nearby each other. We'll support each other right there, in person when it works out.
Well, Lathan, that dude's a hard man to get in contact with. I've messaged him on Facebook. I've messaged him on Instagram.
It's
I'm like,
hard, man. He just got so much going on. Like I know I consider him to be in a whole nother tier than I'm in personally. And I know I get so busy sometimes and it gets so hard to get back with people, friends, family and stuff. And you just, when the time presents itself and the noise calms down for a minute, you try to make your rounds. But I can completely get where he's coming from, man. It's hard. And he's, like I said, he's at even that higher level than me. So where I'm at with it is I'm like, if I know I'm hard to get in touch with sometimes, I can only imagine what that guy's got on his plate. So shout out to
yeah,
him for he still finds a way to get it done,
bro.
fortunately.
Yeah, I'd like to get an interview booked with him, but I ain't. But like I said, he's a hard man to get in contact with.
Yeah, it gets tough sometimes when you got a lot going on. And not just with music. I mean, you got personal life. It's just so much. It's so much sometimes. It's hard. It's like a balancing act, man. It's tough.
Well, I usually ask most of the artists what this they when they come up here. What made you like say yeah you would do this interview?
Honestly, the way that it came about with you and I was when I first, came into contact with you. I've been trying to make it a habit, now of like doing TikTok lives more because I'd only ever done, I'd say since I've had a TikTok until this last week, I'd probably only went live maybe 10 times and just never, for whatever reason, tried to put the time in. And then I started seeing the value, and man, this is where you can really connect with people and actually, have some real conversations, talk to them and such. And oh, hold on, I got a headset of music. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, Beast Slayer. Thanks for that. Thanks for sharing
Sorry
that with
about
us.
that, dude. My brother's headset was in here and it started going off, so I didn't want that to be in the background. But yeah, man, just the way you and I connected was through that, TikTok live. And, I mean, I know it's not in person and some people feel whatever way about it. And don't get me wrong, I like meeting people in person when you can, but we've all got a lot going on. And sometimes the way you get to connect with people and feel like you at least get to know them a little bit is virtually, through a live or whatever. So when we were talking and you said you wanted to, have me on. I mean, you seemed like a pretty solid dude because you were in there supporting, and asking questions and everything. So I don't know. It just felt like, hey, why not? Right? He seems like a good dude.
Yeah, a lot of I've had some bigger artists. I don't know if you know the lane country rap.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it a little bit. I have some buddies that are in that lane.
That's the lane I usually interview. I usually interview country rappers.
Yeah.
And one of my buddies is actually a country rapper, and I was like, "Hey, I got this dude coming on a podcast this week." He's like, "I don't know him." I'm like, "Man," I said, "I got a lot of people that a lot of y'all ain't gonna know that I'm working on getting lined up because I was told by somebody one day you can't just focus on one genre.
Right.
You need to." They were like, "You need to expand yourself. Go find other people."
Well, and some of them overlap, like the type of country music, that I specifically do. It might not be the type everybody does, but mine definitely leans closer to pop, hip hop, rap on not every track, but on
Yeah,
most of my tracks. It leans more that way, versus um, the more traditional side. So, like, I have played on, if I just had to guess without trying to sit here and rack my brain, I've probably played on between 5 and 10 country rap shows. I mean, probably my
really.
life. Yeah.
Who are some of you said you had friends in the country rap lane? Who are some of them?
Yeah, my primary buddy that I grew up with is Lebo, and then he's got some guys under him, Hogleg and C Goody and them. But when he did his River Rap Music Festival over in the Knoxville kind of area this past year, I got to meet Hitman and Jesse Howard and some of those guys.
How was like Hitman? Hitman's a good dude. Jesse Howard. I really don't know much about him, but yeah. Uh,
Anybody I've
but
met in that space has treated me well and been cool to me. So hey, I'm big on matching energy. If somebody's cool with me, I'm cool with you. You know.
yeah, I actually found you because I was scrolling through my feed on Instagram. Sometimes I'll go through Instagram just to see if I can find some upcoming artists and hit them up. And I was scrolling through my feed on Instagram like 4 months ago, and I was like, "Dang, this man got some good music." And then all of a sudden, I guess I found you when you were smaller. All of a sudden, you're popping up with Leighton Warlick with a song, and I'm like, "Dang, I found this man before he got big."
Yeah, it's been a crazy ride, man. I've been really blessed. I've been in bands and duos and solo a couple different times, and I had to start over again in 2024. So I guess one good thing though is I was able to bring the knowledge of all the years I've been doing this since roughly like 2016 to where when I quote started over, I was able to apply a lot of that knowledge and like kind of try to hit the ground running. So I've been very blessed and fortunate that the snowball has really been rolling down the hill, especially within the last 6 months. There's been a lot of really cool opportunities and things
Yeah.
happening to where the growth just happened so fast. It's like, man, this is awesome,
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Like, I really never thought I would actually be sitting up here with you, doing an interview. Because
Well,
I
I'm glad
think I tried reached out before on one of my old accounts that got banned,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I don't even know if he ever responded.
There's no telling, dude. Sometimes those DMs become such a scary place that I try to not even go to them because you can imagine sometimes the stuff people send, it makes you not even want to go look because you're like, yeah, I don't know. We won't get into all that, but you can imagine how crazy it
Well,
gets.
when I DM'd you not like the day after that, did it pop up like on your thing or?
I think that I got it that next day, or you had sent it that night, and I saw it. But we did a good job of communication where I knew how to go find it because obviously you and I had talked on the live, and then we talked
Yeah,
about email and Kyla and stuff.
yeah. I was like, bruh. I was like, I see he's live, and I thought, well, there's fixing to be 100, 200 people in here, and he ain't fixing to see my comment. I'm
Yeah,
like,
and that's the thing. Obviously I want to try to build towards that, but for now, man, what's been fun kind of about the lives, man, is I kind of like that the lives are starting smaller because I've never done live much. So I want it to start small and like actually get to know people because you're seeing some of the same people in there and we're talking. I mean, like prime example, I don't know if you were still in there earlier today, right before the interview when we were talking.
yeah,
But there was a girl in the live that literally like I think it was Olivia, she jumped in there multiple times and she was like we were talking about the idea of like how I was signing the hat and like putting people's username. I was like, my buddy gave me the idea to try a flag. Oh, she was basically like, let me stop you right there, like I can make you a flag with your logo and make it look awesome. And I was like, that would be sweet. And then the plan is like put it like behind on the wall and like get people to put their name on it and stuff. I don't know, make it
yeah.
like kind of a cool like keepsake or whatever.
One day we'll have his live built up to a bunch of people in there.
That's the
That's
that's
what.
the goal. That's what's wild is like I'm a pretty optimistic person. I'm like a glass half full type dude. So like I don't really get discouraged by like, oh, I posted a video, it didn't get many views. Oh, I did a live and there was only 3 people in there. Oh, I put this song out and it didn't do much. Like honestly, I just feel like all that stuff works itself out. Consistency, you work hard, it'll build up. It just takes time, like everything.
He said he said it's alpha, by the way.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Oh,
I got you. I didn't. Okay, I didn't know based off because that was a different name. Yeah, yeah. Alpha's been a big part of helping with that for sure. He's teaching me the ropes.
yeah. It's actually crazy that you actually know your fans by name. That's actually pretty crazy.
Well, I think that's the good thing though about it. Could you imagine if I would have went live for the first time in a year and there'd have been 10,000 people in there? How are you even supposed to connect with anybody?
Yeah.
Like example, like we wouldn't be having this interview probably if you would have got in there and there was 10,000 people and there was a million comments. Like, how am I even gonna see it? You know what I mean?
Oh, I wouldn't. Me honestly, I wouldn't even commented.
Yeah, yeah, because you're like, well, they're not gonna see it anyway. So I think that's what's special about having. I don't know, man. Like, would it be cool to have like all the followers and all the people in there? Like, yeah. And some nights, man, what an adrenaline rush, right? If you're like, there's 100 people in here, there's 1,000 people, whatever. That'll probably happen eventually. But for now, I mean, it's honestly more enjoyable to have those same people because there's some people that jump in there that I'm friends with, like in real life, like that I have met in person or I grew up with. So to
Yeah.
see buddies of mine like Cody got in there today, Chase, Max, JT. Like I've had different people jump in there, and I'm seeing them comment with and John too. But I'm seeing them comment with other people that I haven't met yet that have been coming to the lives regularly. And it's cool because like they're starting to become friends and follow each other. And like obviously that's what we hope for you and I is like by you jumping on and me jumping on and we're doing this thing together, maybe some of your folks will get to know me, some of my folks get to know you, you know.
Yeah, that's what I like about the artists because I had some of my people that I actually they're actually more like not fans, they're more like family to me.
Right.
Uh, and I was telling them about it, and they're like, I don't know who this dude is, and I'm like, well, here's the link to his YouTube.
That's a
Go
good
check him out.
excuse. Hey, that's a good reason to tune in. Then you will know, right?
Yeah, I'm like, then I said, here's the link to his YouTube. Go check him out. They come. Oh yeah, one of my buddies have a podcast too. They're live every. Well, one of they do. They both got two separate podcasts, and then on the weekends they do it together. And I sent in Hoodie Saturday. I was like, "Hey, play this song,"
Yeah,
and
that's
he was like,
man.
"Bro," he was like, "I'm like." He said the only reason you wanted me to play this song is because you got an interview with him. Uh,
Hey, that's fine. Nothing wrong with it in my mind.
yeah. He was just joking around with me. Well, what are some of your dream collabs like? Who are some of the people that you would like to work with?
Uh, well, I guess that's a loaded question because obviously I enjoy writing too, and sometimes I hope to have maybe another artist would take one of my songs and put it out. But I guess to answer it short and sweet, as far as like what I'm doing as an artist and artists that I think could mesh up like well, and artists that I'm obviously like a fan of. One of my favorite country artists that I think is underrated is Jameson Rogers. Would love to do a song with him, write it, put it out. I like Shabuzi a lot because I do like rap. I like country. I like hip hop, pop, rock. I like all the things. So I feel like we could do something cooler, like even like a Big X. He did that album, and then more like in your artists that people would consider more like new, like modern country. Like who wouldn't want to collaborate with Morgan Wallen? Obviously, right? Hardy's one of my favorites. Like I've got several that I just think we could do some really cool stuff. That's my buddy John.
One of the coolest guys around. That's how we became buddies. I was just reading it.
Yeah, and that's how what he was referencing is like that's how we became friends. Is you meet out at a bar or at that show or whatever, and like I said, I'm just a big like try to match energy. So like if somebody wants to take time to come up and ask me questions, I'll take the time to answer. And sometimes that grows into a friendship where you see those people again. Now sometimes I've met people on the road and you have a cool conversation, you never see them again, but it's like, hey, that was fun, right? But yeah, I've grown a lot of friendships out of just random conversations.
Well, what is like you played shows, right?
Yeah, we try to play as many as we can.
Well, what is one of your most memorable things that's happened at a show?
All right, I'll answer it the way that I'll answer this with two shows. So one is more from the standpoint of me being a fan of country and like it was so cool for me. And then the other was a much more heartfelt, special moment. But one of them would have been when I opened up for Hardy. He had already had one beer out, I believe, and yeah, because he had a lot of that Hicks Tape Volume 1 out. And we played a little bar where I got to kick the show off, and I was a big fan of his. So it was just cool to open up for a guy that you look up to and idolize. And, I appreciate that he does it his own way. But it was a sold out show. There was somewhere in the ballpark of 1,300 people in this bar we played where I went to college. So it was special because a lot of my friends and stuff got to see me open up for this guy that I'm a fan of that's much bigger than me. So that was awesome just from me being a fan of his standpoint and an opportunity. Now, the other show that really spoke a lot to me was I was going through a really hard time in 2018 where I first went full time with music, and there was a lady that had stage 4 cancer and was a fan and had heard a song on the local radio station. And her daughters messaged me and were like, "Are you playing near our hometown anytime soon? We don't know how much longer mom has, and we'd like to bring her out to a show." They did get to bring her out. I got to meet her. I even came down off the stage there and got to sing that song she loved with her right there, the end of it. And I don't know, man, that was a moment that touched me where I'm like, I haven't always realized that even if you're not a big name, or even if you feel like you're going through it, you can still be a blessing to somebody else. Somebody's always got it worse, and that was a defining moment for me when I knew like one of my actual songs could like hit somebody that deeply. And that changed my outlook on a lot of how I approached music after that. And that was an awesome moment for me.
Yeah. Well, do you have any other more personal songs coming anytime soon, or?
Let's see. So I've got, it's kind of a breakup song, but kind of a makeup song too. I got Break Up More Often, which is in that kind of country hip hop vein that I do. It drops this Friday. So April the 3rd, another new one coming. Let me think of the ones there.
I didn't know you ever said that on the live, because you said the other day, he's like, they got one April 3rd.
Yeah, I didn't mention it at first, and then I did start talking about it later. But yeah, so what do you miss today? Tuesday, yeah. So here in a couple of days, we'll have our next new one coming. Excited for that. It's another one right down my alley of liking to do the edgy country stuff, and then honestly, man, if people just follow and keep up, it's going to be new music all year. The game plan, and I don't want to promise y'all this will happen because life be lifing sometimes and happens. But if things go according to plan, there will be like a new song every month all year this year. So, so that'd be
Sorry, what?
Oh, I was just saying, so that'll be several more new ones this year that I'm looking forward to.
Well, we got a couple more minutes for the time I agreed to. I'm gonna ask you a couple more questions.
Okay.
Maybe you won't take 30 minutes to answer it.
Yeah, I'll try.
How'd you end up opening for Hardy?
So my buddy's on a bar called Slide and Ride, and the very first location was in the town of Martin, Tennessee, where I went to school. And I got lucky, man, that when I went full time with music, they had me play every Wednesday night for college night. And I built such a relationship that I became the like go-to opener. So they would hire a bigger act and I would come in and play. So I ended up opening for Hardy, John Langston, Mitchell Tenpenny, Muscadine Bloodline. Like I ended up with a lot of cool opportunities through that.
Yeah, do you actually get to meet them?
Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. I actually didn't meet Hardy that night, but I met him in Nashville literally like 3 days later. So it was kind of weird how that worked out, but it was cool to get to meet him and show my appreciation.
What did you say to him when you met him?
Man, I just told him I looked up to him, was a big fan. He told me I crushed it when I opened up, which made me feel good. And, we got to talk. His now wife was there. They were just dating at the time, but she was super kind, sweet. We got to get a picture with him, all that good stuff. But it was cool, man. He was, sometimes they say don't meet your heroes, but I was glad I got to meet him because he was a really nice, down to earth guy.
Bro, I got a couple heroes. I got independent people that's in the independent lane, and I got mainstream artists.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to meet Morgan Wallen. I'd like to meet Upchurch, Big X the Plug.
Yeah, those would be awesome. I actually ran into Upchurch. The one and only time I've ever met him was over in Asheville.
I have met Upchurch.
I met him one time. I was literally in line at the Shell gas station in Cheatham County getting a pack of chocolate donuts, and I just literally ran into him, and he was nice though. We talked very briefly, but he was cool.
But I've heard that. Well, I just want to say thank you again for coming up here, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you, and hopefully we did the live with you, man. Maybe I'll see you again on some TikTok lives like how we met.
Maybe, yeah, maybe we can. Maybe one day we can set up another interview and do a live interview on TikTok.
Yeah, man, that's cool. I'm always looking for excuses to go live now because I'm trying to do better about it. So.
We can say we can set up another one, do a live interview on TikTok for the people that didn't get to see this one.
Yeah, man, we'll have to get something going.
Just let me know.
All right, dude.
I'd have to join on my other account because that account is suspended for some reason.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, we can make it work, dude. Whatever we need to do.
Yeah. But I appreciate you for coming up here, and hey, just don't forget about me when you get bigger.
Man, I got you. Hey, we'll see how big we can take it. The sky's the limit, hopefully, right?
And I hope to see you at a show one day. And maybe if I see you at a show, we can do an in-person.
Yeah, where are you at again? What area? What state?
Tennessee.
Where at? Or west, middle?
A little Middle Tennessee.
Oh, yeah. If I end up around Middle Tennessee, maybe we can line something up. I try to always post my stuff. So if you see me post up, that I'm playing close, then we'll try to link up before, maybe do a live interview or something.
I'll be like, yeah, look, I'm sitting here with Hunter Joy. But yeah, I've always dreamed of doing a live interview with somebody, like one in person. I think it would be cool.
Yeah, man, it's just a different dynamic. There's something special about being in person with somebody,
I've never done an in-person interview at all with no artist.
Well,
I have an independent artist that lives right down the road from me.
That's your homework then. Your homework is you gotta this year at least have one in-person
interview. Yeah, I'm like, but I don't know if you know who Big Murph is.
I don't know him personally, but I've heard of him. Yeah, I think actually, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if I'm thinking of the right guy. No, I don't think I'm thinking of the right guy. I was about to say, there's a girl that I'm friends with that did a Upchurch feature some years back that I don't know if she knows Big Murph or not. I'm thinking of the wrong.
Big Murph did do an Upchurch feature.
But the guy I'm thinking of, I think, is Leroy Biggs.
Oh, Leroy Biggs.
Yeah, I'm thinking of him. I think that's his name. But I got a friend that's friends with him. I get them mixed up sometimes because I'm not as caught up on the country rap game as I should be. But
well, I hope maybe you'll be live tonight. I know I messed you up.
No, dude, you didn't mess nothing up. Like, honestly, I've got so much on my plate tonight that I'm gonna try to go live again if I can. But I got to work on boring tax stuff tonight.
I'm just glad you took time out of your day to stop everything you're doing to do this interview.
Yeah, man, it's all good. It's always good to take a little break and get to hang out for a little bit.
Well, we'll get something worked out. We might be able to do that TikTok interview, and I'll share it to some of my people.
All right, JC, that sounds good to me, man.
Well, I'll see y'all later.
All right, dude. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you too.
See you.